Hello, it's your furry Professor Kyra, and the topic I have for you today I am super excited about because it's one of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to the furry fandom. Now, why do I have my human hands? Because I need them to talk about this video. So, in the furry fandom, there are a lot of very unique aspects that go from art to the sonas themselves. But what if we combined the two of them? Well, what does that create? It creates fursuit badges. What the heck are fursuit badges? Fursuit badges are as unique as the fursonas they represent, and they come in all shapes and sizes, and that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm going to talk about fursuit badges, of course, but I want to show you some examples. So if you're looking into fursuit badges, you can kind of get an idea of some of the things that are out there and see if anything catches your eye. Okay? So, what kind of badges do I have that I can show you guys to kind of show off and explain what fursuit badges are? Well, we can start with something really simple, and that is a badge like this one. So, most fursona badges that you're going to see are going to display the character and have their name. This badge is very large. I have small hands, so I can't really explain this, but it is very large. It is a full body depiction of a Kyra. And the really cool thing with this particular badge, which this is something that I want to talk about, are the very unique aspects that badges can have. Now, I don't have it with me right now, but this badge is actually UV reactive, which is really cool. But also, right here in the end of a Kyra's tail is a NPC chip. And this particular chip actually links to my TikTok, which is really, really cool. This badge actually was made by Icy's Art. They're really great and fantastic. They make these really unique badges. They're actually right over on Telegram. What I'm going to try to do is, if I remember who made these badges, I'll tell you who made them. So that way, if you're interested, you can get one of your own. So this is one example of like a fursona badge. They also can look like this. So this badge I thought was really, really cute. And I had a commission because I am a little bit old school and I love the Game Boys, and I thought that it'd be really cute to make a Game Boy Advance with a Kyra's kind of main colors. And the really cool thing about this particular badge is it has a QR code. This QR code actually works, and it links again to my TikTok. And it's really cute because it has a really cute picture of her, but also it has something useful that if somebody, you know, comes along at a con and asks like, oh, hey, like, where can I find you? Right here. And it will take you right to my TikTok. The really cool thing about this particular badge, which I actually just added at this past convention, is it has this little pin on it. It says TikTok fur, because I thought it'd be cool, because also it kind of tells them that this particular, you know, QR code takes you to my TikTok. So there are those that kind of depict, you know, the sona itself and kind of takes you to social media things, but you can also display social media in a different way. And I want to show you with this badge that I actually went years trying to find who made them, and I did find who made them, but I want to show you. It's one of my favorites, and that is this. It is a TY badge that is specific to a Kyra, and it looks really cute on the outside. You know, it's got all the cute things that, you know, a TY badge has. As I said, I'm very old school, so a lot of these kind of old school things are really cool. But with this particular badge, it acts exactly as a TY badge. So it has a cute little depiction of a Kyra in a TY form, but also it has her Instagram and her TikTok on it. So if somebody meets me and they're like, oh, hey, like, what social media, you know, things do you have? You know, even if it's outside of TikTok, or they just don't, you know, have a tech savvy mindset and they just want my handle, it's right there, my Instagram. This particular badge has a cute little poem on it, which I could read to you because it's really cute. It says, ears of cat and wings of bat. She loves long walks in the woods, a teacher at heart who's very smart, and mangoes are her favorite foods. So this particular tag, I love dearly, and it is super, super adorable, and obviously has all the cool things that those other badges I showed had, but it kind of has a very unique mindset. Usually when I wear this badge, I wear it on my ear, as most TYs have. But I thought this was like the super cutest little thing that displays a Kyra in a very unique way. And, you know, kind of talks a little bit about the favorite things that, you know, the Fursona has. So we have things like that. But I found a particular badge maker. They are over on Etsy. They are known as Stellar Husky. I absolutely adore their badges. They 3D print badges, and I have gotten a bunch because the quality of these badges are phenomenal and they are just so amazing. The next couple badges I'm actually going to show you. 3 of them are made by them. 1, I'm not sure the maker, but I have seen them at Anthrocon. I just don't remember who exactly made them. And I'm going to show you the Akira specific one first, and then I'm going to kind of transition, because I'm going to have to transition a little bit in order to talk about the next set of fursuit badges. So for starters, I have this really awesome, very vibrant badge that just basically says Furry Professor Akira on it. I thought it'd be really fun to just have a very descriptive badge that talks about me, says who I am, and it's really cool because I actually have people at Anthrocon ask, like, Furry Professor Akira, what's that? So it kind of allows the start of a conversation where I could explain, hey, I make videos about, you know, teaching things about the fandom, and it's just like very just descriptive. But like I said, it's very vibrant in color and I love it. Stellar Husky makes these and I think they're phenomenal. I have so many of these now for almost all of my sonas. Even for my mascot suits, I have made these for, because I think they're just fantastic. So before I show off some of the other badges that they made, I need to transition into a different type of badge. I have made a couple videos talking about boundaries when it comes to fursuiters, and sometimes it's not very easy for a fursuiter to just come out and say, hey, I don't want a certain thing. So there are these incredible types of fursuit badges known as boundary badges that exist that are really awesome, that help fursuiters express what they do or don't want while they're in suit. I love them because the particular ones I have are very vibrant and very, you can absolutely see them. And I'm going to show you what they are and kind of explain what they're for, just so you can get an idea, because I think they're phenomenal and I always encourage people to get them because they're super amazing to have. And like I said, they are also made by Stellar Husky. They're over on Etsy. They also have TikTok. They're fantastic. I will always shout them out because their badge quality is super great and they're not very expensive. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one here. So it just says, ask for photos. Very short, very sweet, very to the point, very vibrant color so you can see it. I usually wear this badge on this part of Akira's neck fluff. That way, when someone comes up to me, they can see that, hey, pictures are okay. I just, you know, want you to ask first. This is just one set of boundary badge because when you're at cons, sometimes it can be very overwhelming to just have people trying to, like, you know, get all over you sometimes, which is kind of hard to, like, tell someone, hey, yeah, I'm good with pictures and stuff. But also, if you see this, you know right away, you know, this fursuiter is good with pictures. They just have, you know, they want you to ask. So there's that. But what I also have is this. I have talked in a video regarding consent of touching and everything. I used to not have a badge like this until I have been to, I've actually been to 6 conventions now, and I never thought I had to get one of these until I started going to cons, because I didn't think I'd have to tell people to not touch me when I'm in suit. But unfortunately, I have learned the hard way. So badges like this are very blatant. They are, first off, this particular one, which is fantastic, very bright colors. Usually red is a big kind of sign that this is probably something important, and it most of the time in most places means stop. So, and also cool thing is it's in the shape of a stop sign, so it's kind of nice. But this is very blatant about not being touched in suit. I never thought I'd have to get something like this, but unfortunately, in the amount of touching that I have received without my consent at cons, I usually have this right dead in the most clear wherever on me that I can. And it basically just is simply that. It's don't touch me when I'm in suit. Obviously, that is kind of to deter the people that are going to just do it. I always am okay with asking for things, but this is huge because this should prevent people from just grabbing you. It's to prevent those unwanted interactions that don't need to happen. So these should prevent people from touching you without your consent. So I can't say that they will. They're supposed to. Some people don't read the badges that are on you, and the badges are there for a reason. That is the best thing about fursuit badges, is they are there to help. Now, there is another type of badge. Like I said, this is the one that's not made by Stellar Husky, but I do believe that they make one, and that is this. This is a silent suitor badge. What the heck does that even mean? Well, in the furry fandom, when it comes to like fursuiters and stuff, there are different types of fursuiters. There are those who talk, and there are those who do not. For me, I have suits that I don't talk in, so I have this badge that very clearly depicts that I do not talk in suit. In the furry fandom, people know what a silent suitor is, but just in case, you know, you don't, it's simply just, it's a suitor that doesn't talk. So if you interact with a fursuiter and they're not talking to you, try to look for something like this, because it probably means that they don't talk in suit. They're a very acting, performing character, so they might not talk because of the fact that they're a silent suitor. For me and Akira, I'm not a silent suitor, but I have suits that I don't talk in, so this is very useful because I make this very visible. I usually put it at the base of an ear, and people usually see that and go, oh, so they're not, you know, ignoring me, they don't talk in suit. These are fantastic because I have had people like try to get me to talk before, and it's like, no, I don't. So silent suitor badges, they're fantastic. So all of those are very specific to either boundaries or fursonas, but there are other types of badges that are simply for just the fun of it. And I have a bunch of badges like that. I grabbed 3 of them because I thought they could be, you know, a lot of fun to talk about, but also because I have way too many and I'm not going to talk about a bunch of them. The first one is something that's fun for me, but also it talks about me specifically and not my suit, and that is this badge right here. These certified badges are fantastic. They're going to be at most cons, and they are like $5 a piece, and they're awesome. This is cool because it's me. Like, I'm a writer, so when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. It's fun. It's something that describes me, but it's also just like this fun little addition to like your suit. It's a conversation piece. I always think that fursuit badges are a huge conversation piece in the fandom, so this is one of them. But now, strictly fun badges. So I bought 2 of them for this video because I thought they were going to be something really interesting to talk about, and that is 2 caution badges that I have. Now you're probably like, what do you mean caution? You already talked about boundary badges. No, these are just simply fun caution badges. So I have this one that just says shedding hazard, and the ironic part about this is my one suit sheds really, really bad, so I have this on them because they are terrible when it comes to shedding. Every time I wash them and brush them, they are just a shedding hazard. So I think this is like a fun little thing. I usually put this kind of on their ear somewhere, and it's cute because people love it. It's funny. And then this one is funny, so I'll read it. It just says, badge holder is less the touchy-feely type and more the breaky-hurty type. So I have more like aggressive, scarier suits. So this I'd like to wear for them because it's fun, and it kind of adds a little bit of flair and whatnot to the suit. So those are just some examples. There are tons of different types of fursuit badges. There are ones that light up. There are ones that are completely digital. There are just endless options for fursuit badges. But they are one of the most unique things that you can have for your fursuit. For me, like that furry professor one, this one is specific to my fursona because it's just a description, and a lot of teachers will have a little badge that says something. So I thought this would be a really cute idea. It's really just up to you. Now, you can find a lot of different badges in a lot of different places. So I had mentioned Stellar Husky. Stellar Husky's on Etsy. Etsy's a big place to start. The Dealer's Den. The Dealer's Den, you can find badges as well. You can get them commissioned. Obviously, the ones that are custom to my character were commissioned. And you would commission them just like you would commission any piece of art or whatever. The really awesome thing is, some of those were not badges initially. They were art pieces that I was like, oh, this would be really awesome to have as a badge. And specifically, it was this one. So this was just a piece of art that I had before. And I had turned it into stickers, I had turned it into keychains, and then I had it as a badge just to have on me physically when I go to these cons, because it was a quick way to get people to my TikTok and see the kinds of stuff that I talk about. So those are just what I have. So you can get them anywhere. Like I said, Etsy's a good start. Commissions. Another place I had mentioned before talking about fursuits is the Facebook pages. So the Club Furry for Furries is a great place to look, because there are people always that are going to have badge commissions and everything else. People sometimes ask, like, well, what kind of badge do I get? It's any badge that you want. A lot of people start off with a very traditional badge. Traditional badges are like hand-drawn, just kind of headshots of their Sona, might have their name on it, stuff like that. Now, badges have come a long way just from what I have seen, especially when we're shifting into like the digital age, because now I have some really cool custom badges for some of my other characters that were custom made through digital art, and they look really awesome. I would show them here, but I am not going to reveal the other suits that I am. So you just have to trust me. There are some really awesome options out there, and it's just limitless. Fursuit badges are so fun to have, and just so you're aware, you don't need to have a fursuit to have a badge. You can very much have a fursona and just have a badge on your fursona. I've seen tons of people who don't have fursuits yet, but they have a fursona. You can still wear your badges for your fursonas. I think it's always really fun because it's unique to you and your character. So, fursuit badges, they're fun. They're unique. They're amazing. They're one of my favorite things about the fandom. When I became a furry, I knew nothing about badges and everything, but now that I know, I have done so many different really cool things with badges. So look around. That's the best thing I can give you as advice. Just look around. You'll see some things that you'll never have thought for a fursuit badge. Endless options. If you ever have questions, or you want to know some places outside of what I talked about to find badges, even if it's like specific things, ask. Because I know I've talked about very basic things here, but there are some places I know to get like kind of specific types of badges. Like I said, the one bigger badge I had, which was this one, this particular artist is over on Telegram, and they have an art channel. You can look at them there. They have an art channel, and you can kind of get an idea of the stuff that they do. They do the traditional hand-drawn. Fantastic. They were very inexpensive, but they were amazing. So hey, get yourself a fursuit badge. They're really awesome. Ever have questions about them? Feel free to ask. All right. Catch you guys in the next one.